Hello everybody, welcome to this video where we're going to talk about how to multiply a polynomial by a polynomial. And if you remember, a polynomial just means two terms or more times two or more. A binomial means two terms, so we're going to take something with different degrees, different powers, and multiply it by something else. Binomials have two terms, so here we're going to do, in this example, a binomial. I'll write it right here. This first example is a binomial times a binomial. I'm saying that because if you're having trouble with this first type, that's what you can search on YouTube or type into the internet, how to multiply a binomial times a binomial. But really, it is it's intuitive. The math works intuitively. Really what we're going to do is we're going to multiply x plus 2, and we're going to take that and multiply x. We're also going to take x plus 2, and we're going to take that and we're going to multiply 8. The distribution works the same, but you can break it down into some really easy steps to make it so that anybody can multiply these things. We're going to make the first step is, instead of doing x plus 2 together, we can just do x. X times x. X times x makes x squared. What you can do next is you can do 2 times x plus 2 times x. The next thing we do, those two steps of multiplication made sure that we took these two things and they multiplied the first thing. We also need to make sure that we're going to multiply the second part. So let's do the same thing. We're just going to take the x, multiply it times 8. All right, we're done with the x now. Now let's do the 2. 2 times 8 makes 16. If you look at what we wrote on the right side, it looks like a lot, but all that we did was we did x times x, 2 times x, x times 8, 2 times 8. We made sure that each number multiplied the other numbers. Now we simplify. X squared, there's only one of those. The other two parts with x can add together to make 10x, and 16 has nothing to combine with, and so it stays 16. The answer to a binomial times a binomial is a trinomial. Let's do it again. The first number multiplies the first number. The second number multiplies the first number. Remember, the goal is to have everything multiply everything. So the next part of that is 2x times the negative 5. I'm going to go ahead and combine the 2 times 5 to make negative 10. Then we need to do 8 times the negative 5 to make a negative 40. And then we combine like terms. Oh, I have more to simplify. So 6x squared plus 14x minus 40. Now we're done. Just to show that you can, I'm going to do it slightly different. We could do it the same exact way, but just to show you that it's possible and there's more than one way to do this multiplication, I'm going to show you a different way. I'm just going to start with this x. I'm going to make sure that this first number is going to multiply everything on the other term. I'm going to do x times 2x to make 2x cubed. I'm going to do x times the second part, which is 3x, to make 3x squared. I'm going to do x times the negative 4 to make negative 4x. Now, we're going to take the 2, and it's going to multiply each part. 4x squared plus 6x minus 8. This is actually my favorite way to multiply these things, because if we start with the first one and multiply it to everything, then it kind of just keeps your head with the same mindset. Whereas before, we kept on switching which number we were multiplying, and so it took longer. We would switch from multiplying the 2x times the 3, and then the 8 times the 3, then the 2x times the 5, and the 8 times the 5. So in my head, that just takes longer. I think that this way is a little bit more efficient, but either way is fine. Now let's just combine like terms. There is only one part that has an x cubed. We have 2x squareds. We have 3x squared plus 4x squared to make 7x squared. 6x minus 4x makes 2x. And then negative 8 is just on the end. Something I just did right there is I crossed out the numbers as I added them together. So that way I knew which terms I still needed to add together and which I didn't need to add together anymore. One more together. If you want to, pause the video, try it on your own. I'm going to go ahead and do it. Starting with the first number, multiply each thing in the second parentheses. That's all you do. Just make sure everything multiplies everything. So that I have less erasing to do, I'm going to write the other arrows underneath. I'm going to write them on the bottom side. Once everything is multiplied each other, start with the highest power and simplify. Go ahead and do these questions as practice. The only one that you might not be able to do at this point is number 12 and number 13, but the rest you should be able to do. Pause the video at the top part, pause the video at the bottom part, so that way you can see all of these questions I have for you to practice.